how exposed are you? Did the last year really show you just how vulnerable you are? You know, realistically, we should be able to shut down the country for at least a month and not affect anyone financially. But in fact, what we did was we shut it down for almost a year and found out that most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They're living on margin. They aren't prepared for a crisis that's going to come. And that's unfortunate because a crisis comes quite a bit. When the tide recedes, we often see who's skinny dipping. Warren Buffett was famous for saying that. When the tide goes down, you see who's vulnerable and who's exposed. So, and when we start looking at crisis as they come, let's start back at the year 2000. So just a couple of decades ago, and the tech bubble that hit us, right? It wasn't long after that, in 2008, that we had the financial crisis and the Great Recession, right? Combine this and you have the lost decade. That hit me pretty hard as well. You start looking at 2015, and we had the global markets, right? 2017, the Trump Tax Act, right? So love him or hate him, right? There was a lot of turmoil during that whole presidency, and then here we are, 2020, a global pandemic, right? Which hit not only the United States, hopefully not you individually, but globally. So you know that a financial crisis, an economic crisis, a crisis of some point is going to hit at some point. So how are you prepared for that? How are you making sure that you're not exposed and you start looking at what are the things that could happen? These are external to you, but what about the things that could happen internally, right? What about an illness? What about a death? What about a loss of your job? What about a disability, right? What about your kids coming back home after school? You have to support them, they can't find a job. Or college debt, or even paying for college. What about caring for aging parents? What about a lawsuit? What about some other event that could happen that could take you down? So planning for these exposures and vulnerabilities is crucial to you building wealth and being able to live the life you want well into retirement. So these come, we know they're going to come, we don't know exactly what they're going to be, but we need to plan for them. Straight line financial planning just doesn't cut it. You have to be able to have a financial life design, a model that adapts with all the changes that we know are going to happen. So, because what we do know is this is going to happen at some point, right? And so let's plan for that and work so that you are not as exposed as you might have been this past year or in previous times, right? So hope this was helpful to you. Let me know what you think. If I can help, you want to have a conversation, just comment below or send me an email and we can go from there.